Welcome again to Family Systems Walsh, Chapter 11, Immigrant Family Processes, kind of a new roadmap for families that are between two worlds, that are between two generations. Variations in the experience of migration. Some families have proximity between their homeland and their new land. Sometimes if families are coming from China, Japan, Vietnam, even South American countries, there's such a vast distance and difference in what they find, being able to find pockets of communities that are similar to their families, whether they came by choice or by force, from immigration, war, famine, disenfranchisement, whether they're members of the same nationality or from different nationalities within the family group, and what the biopsychosocial consequences on those family systems are. The experience of migration loss occasioned by physical, social, cultural uprooting, ambiguous loss, a sense of losing their children who have become very Americanized sometimes. So when you have first generation families as parents and children who are not born in this country but come and then begin to acculturate and assimilate for coping mechanisms through the school system, through friends, loss of transitional rituals, loss of an uprooting of the homeland mentality, of the meanings of family rituals and understandings, duality, and trying to maintain family continuity and change, a sense of coherence, a sense of family resilience. What happens when second generation family members, grandchildren are born that have no direct ties to the family homeland, and the expense required to go back, for example, to India, and the length of time to stay, or German families or other European families who come here. What the physical presence of the extended family is in shoring up the family to maintain their own sense of mastery, their locus of control, their family relational resilience processes to hold on to that culture while understanding that they have to adapt, live, and their children certainly have to adapt and live more into mainstream society that maybe have very different values and practices than what they are expecting. That sense of loss between parents and families. The whole issue, the immigration issue, and illegal, undocumented persons, Hispanic people, Asian people who are in this country, and what kind of prejudice they experience, what happens with their children in schools, whether they feel like as immigration, the generational conflicts, whether they have enough extended and community resources to not become homeless, to be able to stay, not have to return back to their first country, gender-based conflicts when husbands and wives come here, and maybe the social norms for marriages and relationships between partners is terribly different than what is expected, and those things begin to change within the families, can be understood to be a complete eruption and disruption of family processes and very traditionally held views. Emergence and incorporation of spontaneous rituals to try to maintain, again, communication with family members, visits back home, recreating social, religious rituals. Christmas may not be a situation that is understood to be important with Asian families. May not be understood to be important with Muslim families. And they may find themselves feeling at a loss. Jewish families have the ritual of Hanukkah that sort of is understood by some of their family systems as to be in the place of, or something similar to. Some of these other families from different parts of the world may not have that experience at all. So the effort to preserve culturally patterned rituals, those that were reluctant or prepared to migrate, those that are having separations between nuclear family members, children that are moving across to different states, family members, brothers and sisters that have been broken up across different states because of work, and life cycle transitions as older family members die or are no longer as impactful into the family system. Those are things for you to consider excuse me, in this chapter, and we'll look at changing gender norms.